You're watching the SEC on ESPN on a beautiful October night in Lexington, Kentucky. We've got a conference matchup and a good one. The Auburn Tigers desperate on the road, taking on the Wildcats of Kentucky. This game all week long, and we are underway. Auburn won the toss. They want the ball first. And the kickoff deep as Jonathan Ford will bring it out. And Ford is upended at the 20-yard line. That's where the Tigers said that. But this is a true SEC type environment. That's Rock Thomas with some misdirection on the first play of the game. And he's tripped up after a game out of the huddle. And the swing pass left side is incomplete. Intended for from the shotgun. White with time. Still looking. White throws, and he's got his man Lewis complete for a first down. And
receiver downfield.
27-yard pass play. Now a play fake, and White is going to keep it. He's got nowhere to go. And there's the defensive player you were just talking about. And Josh Forrest can definitely tackle. 2nd and 9 for Auburn. That's a drop. So they tried to get the ball again to Ricardo Lewis and converted a few plays ago. Marcus Davis, the receiver in motion. White with some pressure coming. Picked up nicely, though, and he throws short middle. The move to get the first down. And that is Marcus Davis. And that cut at the end of that play, they needed 9. He got 10. That cut made the difference.
Made a huge difference.
Rock Thomas with great speed, trying to get to the outside. That was well read by the Wildcats. Yeah, Peyton Barber's been their workhorse tailback, but they feel like they can get those explosive plays from some of the other guys. That's a handoff straight ahead running. And a fairly short Thomas in the backfield alongside White. White again with plenty of time right on the money. And Lewis hangs on, still going down to the 10-yard line.
Was over. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 21, half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Inside the red zone, it's 1st and goal from around the 5. And they will hand the ball off. That is Barber, straight ahead running for a gain of 2. Peyton Barber, who in their last game at home against San Jose State had 5 rushing touchdowns in the game. Auburn, that quick tempo offense, right back to the line of scrimmage. Snaps the ball quickly. Barber once again. He lunged forward. I think he was stopped short. And that's how they're going to spot it down at about the half-yard line. And Gus Malzahn, you've been talking about it already, Coach. He wants that quicker tempo. The snap, 3rd and goal. Barber is in. Touchdown. Well, there's the start that Gus Malzahn and the Tigers wanted. They get the ball first. They drive 80 yards and punch it in with Peyton Barber.
Really power plays up inside, 3 in a row with your zone. Big offensive lineman coming off the ball. If you're struggling in the red zone, line up, shoot a shoe. Get the back behind the big lineman, have quick tempo, and knock it in the end zone just like they did.
Well, Mark Stoops, the head coach at Kentucky, not thrilled with the way the game started. Extra point is up, and it is good. That's Daniel Carlson who will kick it deep. And the freshman Saheem King watches it go over Kentucky. Tolles from the shotgun with Boom Williams emptying the backfield on 1st and 10 Wildcats. Tolles is going to pass on the first play from scrimmage, and he gets a completion right flat. That's Dorian Baker, who is tough to their last game. He was basically benched for a week. He's a big play guy on the run game, and he gets his first carry for a 4-yard gain. Transfer from that Michigan program as a graduate who really, Muschamp told us, he's their best player on this side of the ball right now. Tolles on the move, taking a deep shot, incomplete. Pretty good coverage intended for Garrett. Sold-out crowd at Commonwealth Stadium. A pitch play. Williams breaks a tackle. Williams out into the open field. There's the speed from Boom. To the 10. Pushed out of bounds. Right around the 5-yard line. Jonathan Ford saved the touchdown. But what a run from Boom.
Well, and this is what Will Muschamp's been talking about. You sit up there and you're in a perfect position, and Casanova McKenzie can make the tackle for a loss. He misses the tackle, and all of a sudden he goes 60 yards. Boom. down 60 yards, nearing the goal line. Now Kentucky's got a chance to score.
So it's 1st and goal, Wildcats, as they try to answer Auburn's opening drive touchdown. Handoff straight ahead. Well, you could say Boom is for speed. Boom might mean some power too, and he's got a little power trying to push his way. Stopped a yard short of the goal line.
Boom can do it all, but Kentucky, unlike
down when they get into this part of the field. 2nd and goal, they give it to Williams again, and he's in. Touchdown. What an answer from the Wildcats.
Yes, to beat a good football team, you've got to be able to answer and turn the momentum back. And Kentucky, with some question marks on their offense, took the ball and scored very easily against the Auburn defense.
Yeah.
The things Will Muschamp were concerned about, one-on-one blocking, beating your guy, tackling in space, all came to fruition here since they've had a Thursday night game. I wasn't even here for that one before you said that.
Little pent-up aggression, I think, for these folks.
Yes.
Kickoff is a short one. And it'll be returned past the 20 to the 30 and across the 35 outside the 40 by Carry-On.
Could have been a 3rd down and long.
So he makes a difference, that's for sure. Now the Auburn offense back on the field. Sean White, who's had all kinds of time, going deep for Lewis, and what a catch! Down to about the 18 of Kentucky. White, and the running back wasn't where he was supposed to be. So White tries to make something out of nothing, gets pulled down from behind. Auburn wanted a
situation here, cost him a play.
Now right back around the original line of scrimmage. They will hand it off. Barber trying to get around the edge, and a nice cut up field inside the 15. White. Pressure picked up again. The throw right on the money for a 1st down. 1st and goal for Auburn. Wild start to this game. Barber pushing his way to about the 5. Stop there. Well, Mac
obviously have come up with a way to get the ball deep.
Kentucky's been a good defensive team. Sean White fakes a handoff, looking toward the end zone. He'll throw, tipped up, incomplete. That was a dangerous pass. A.J. Johnson as the Wildcat quarterback here. Johnson will fake, run right, cuts it upfield, untouched. Touchdown. The true freshman to the end zone, and Auburn back in front 13-7.
Well, they told us that they would use the Wildcat any place on the field, but especially in short yardage. And they also said that Braden Smith, that young sophomore right guard, is one of the best pull guys in the country. Unbalanced line. They pulled the 2 guys out to the right, and it's a walk-in on the power sweep for Kieran Johnson.
That was an unfair fight. The right guard, Braden Smith, as you pointed out, against Marcus McWilson, the safety, who got shoved out of our view. Extra point. And so it was not your ordinary. We always got something to talk about in the SEC. This was even something a little different than that, as Auburn kicks off, and another touchback, and Allison Williams down on the sideline.
Great job, Allison, and I don't think it's affecting his vision because he's calling a great game so far.
Yeah, if they keep scoring points like this, he may not put that visor back on. Who knows? Patrick Toll's going to keep it, and Tolles does have some athleticism. Nice open field tackle. Boom Williams, the running back, who had the big 60-yard play and then the touchdown run after that on their first drive. They fake it to him, and Tolles is rolling left, now looking deep right, and incomplete. And the feet got tangled up on both sides. 2 numbers. This is their first one of the night with 5:25 to go in the first quarter. Tolles with time in the pocket. Stepped up. He had an open receiver, and he threw it behind Jeff Badette. That was
find that hole and make it an easier throw.
Yeah,
that one's not
right
on the quarterback as much as the receiver.
That's not a great. Going to be in Ann Arbor with our guys, so he'll pop up on game day on Saturday. First down, Auburn with good field position. Sean White taking a shot toward the right far sideline. He's got his man Ricardo Lewis again, who goes
the defensive back around for Auburn. And the throw is perfect. I'm really impressed with Sean White's start.
Well, there was nowhere to go there. If he'd handed the ball off, Johnson was going to be tackled. White got famous catch against Georgia before the Iron Bowl. A couple of years ago, the prayer at Jordan Hare. Here's White scrambling. And penalty flags are thrown. He throws the ball away. Out of bounds is our referee.
Holding offense, number 56. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Well, all right, back around midfield at the Kentucky 49. On second and long, they hand the ball off. Kerryon Johnson gets tackled.
He's a good-looking football player.
3rd and 16. Sean White, the freshman quarterback, knocked down. Well, they were setting up. End-over-end punt. Timmons with the fair catch signal, and he makes it inside the 10 near the 6-yard line. And a handoff to Michael Horton, who is their version of a power back in the big play kids on this Kentucky roster from Ohio. Tolles with flags thrown before the snap. Well, that one's going to be against Kentucky.
False start. Offense, number 74.
Almost like that hybrid region between the Big Ten and the SEC, getting players from both. There's Horton again without a lot of room. Got across the 5, but no farther than that. Third for the Stoops. A big reason why they have so many good players from that football proud state here at Kentucky. 3rd and 11. That throw is caught for a first down.
Guy finds the hole. Perfect throw.
20-yard gain. Now the Wildcats with a first down and a little breathing room. Some pressure. So Tolles is going to run with a lot of open field in front of him. He goes. Very athletic family. His grandfather's a baseball Hall of Famer. Jim Bunning, big name in this state. That slant pass. Nice delivery and some more Kentucky speed into Auburn territory. Tolles to Baker. And quickly with some tempo to the line of scrimmage. They will hand the ball off. Boom Williams at cut upfield. Picking his way from the yard line, and they are on the move. Final 30 seconds of what has been an action-packed first quarter from Lexington. Play fake. Tolles over the middle into traffic, but he delivers. With huge games in the SEC as well. Tolles flips it. That jet sweep kind of action. It's Garrett Johnson who got a yard. Football players, who's now a star in the NFL. Auburn showing some pressure with Tolles in the shotgun. Quick release. He found the open spot in the defense. And there's the guy you're talking about. So it's 1st and goal, Kentucky. They've got Williams, the tailback. They fake it to him. Tolles, it is intercepted. Carlton Davis, what a play on the ball. Tolles was trying to get it to Dorian Baker. And Carlton Davis took it away.
True freshman Carlton Davis. What an outstanding play. Now there was pressure on Patrick Tolles again because he gets pressure from the outside. He throws it behind him. But what a play by the true freshman. Carlton Davis, they told us, will be a great player at Auburn, not a good one. And this was a tremendous play to save points.
His 2nd career interception, and that came at a big time. Kentucky going 7.
Big, good-looking young man.
First turnover of the game. 7th interception that Tolles has thrown this year. That's a big number. Here's Barber straight ahead.
At the second quarter with a turnover, first or second play.
There's never a good time, but Kentucky, it just felt like they were going to go in and score. That's a short gain over the left side from Barber. Davis in motion. Sean White on the move. Nice delivery. It'll be a first down. And another 3rd down conversion for the Tigers. And Sean White's playing real well. Another completion, this time left side with a blocker out in front of Lewis. We still do not see. Remember, he got poked in the eye late in the first quarter. He's still not out there for Auburn. Carry straight ahead. Right.
Eastern Kentucky.
Well, there's Ricardo Lewis still on the sideline for Auburn. Already 5 catches, 114 yards for him. Barber breaking a tackle. White gets a water break while Kerryon Johnson is at Wildcat quarterback. He will bring the man in motion. And Kerryon Johnson keeps it with that speed into the secondary. Times they've run it. We've seen Jeremy Johnson, the second quarterback, the starter at the beginning of the year, come in for those formations. Who knows? Maybe setting something up for later. Barber.
It's back now or later on during the year, but Sean White's playing really well to this point.
2nd and 8. Handoff. Barber. First down, Auburn. Down to the 20. Well, the Tigers on the move once again. Let's go downstairs again to Allison Williams.
Well, Auburn offensive coordinator Rhett Lashley positions himself to talk to both quarterbacks on the sideline and did tell Jeremy Johnson to be ready.
Well, he was ready to come in. He hasn't touched the ball yet after the first. That was the main issue for him. He wasn't making big plays that they expected, but he really was careless with the ball. That ultimately forced the decision. Carnell out there. And the officials do allow Kentucky to get in position. Shotgun snap, pressure coming. White throws. Daniel Carlson certainly has the leg. He's made 2 of 50 and longer. He's actually struggled on the short
program, and they always do for the basketball program. A tremendous season last year, 38-1, but you lose your top 7 scorers. So give us a little preview of what is in
the year, then we will look early.
All right, Coach Cal, look forward to it. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
All right, we always love visiting with Coach Calipari. Patrick Tolles on the move, has an open receiver for a first down with a penalty flag thrown on the play. That is Garrett.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 2. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat the down.
Wow, now that is a huge play in this game. First and 22.
Killer.
Tolles in the pocket, maybe trying to set up a screen, and finally he gets it out. Their version of Midnight Madness. Dave O'Brien, Sean Farnham, Kara Lawson are all here in town to cover Kentucky tomorrow night. This pass almost in.
Yeah, be smart here. Can't turn it over. Try to get it outside or sling one deep and hope you get a penalty.
3rd and long. Tolles deep middle. Caught!
To Juice Johnson for a big play. Change in field position.
At the 48 of Auburn, they will hand the ball off. And the carry for JoJo Kemp, the junior from Palo Alto. 2 top 20 teams of the Pac-12. 2 SEC teams here tonight in Lexington. And the hand of the Kentucky offense. Third down. Tolles down the sideline. Caught again. Another tremendous play by Johnson.
Auburn's bringing 5 up front. You've got 2 really good players in Ford and Johnson outside. And what a catch by Johnson.
Drive, 1st and goal, Kentucky.
Yeah, that's great coverage. You just say good catch.
No kidding. Coverage could hardly be better. Tolles slant. And it's complete to Blake Bone, the sophomore. 7. Under 6 to go, first half. Boom Williams behind Tolles, almost a pistol formation there. They're going to throw it. At least was complaining about that no call. It's 3rd and goal. Tolles pressured, goes down. Not been healthy. He's had a groin muscle problem. Did not kick last week. After the field goal for Kentucky. Wildcats will kick it off. And against this explosive kick return team, it's going to be Kerryon Johnson. Another short kick with room to run. Texas A&M.
I still like Ohio State. They're undefeated. I think we're criticizing them very much like Florida State last year. We probably put a too high a standard on them.
Sean White's playing well in the first half. His 3rd straight start. Tigers have not had a 3 and out. They've had a first down on every drive, at least 1, and often many.
And anytime on first down you can get 8 yards with a quick pass, it's just like a run.
2nd down and short. Barber, but it was White who kept it. Kentucky 1st and 10 from right around the Kentucky 34-yard line. White hands it off. Barber with more room now than there was early, right in the middle of that defensive line inside the 30.
Important for Kentucky to get a stop here.
2nd. White from the shotgun. 2nd and 10. They'll hand it off. Barber once again with the big.
After the play over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 71. Defense, number 91. Those fouls are.
Third down, it's first down. That was definitely a first down carry. So 1st and 10, 3:09 to go. And they got that Wildcat again. It'll be carry on. In fact, they may well like that more time is winding down. Barber gets stuffed. Maybe pushed his theme on both sides. Auburn had not done a great job on offense in the red zone, and they've done a better job here tonight. Another Wildcat play. This time they give it to that fly sweep player.
Do something what no one else expects we will.
Well, the odds seem against a banged up UCLA team, but we'll see tonight. Daniel Carlson from about 29 yards. Field goal is up and good. So Carlson's 2 for 2. Auburn try to go down the field and score. We're going to find out. A kick return would help. And it's a low line drive kind of kick. Not nearly as good as most of them we've seen in this game. Mostly good from the junior Patrick Tolles. It's 1st and 10 Kentucky from the 22. Boom Williams will leave the backfield out as a wideout. Tolles gets rid of it quickly. Kind of a floater out there, caught for a short gain by Jeff Badet. And Kentucky's got to hurry back to the line of scrimmage. The clock continues to move. 5-yard gain. We still have 2 timeouts.
You'd like to get it around the 50 before you start really opening it up.
2nd and 5. Tolles with some pressure coming, scrambling. Tolles is going to throw. Each team's only punted 1 time, so we've had a lot of offense. It's been a fun first half. Tolles with some pressure again. Okay, so we got 3 out of the 5.
Now I'm struggling.
Yeah, well, we'll let everybody else think about it for a minute. Landon Foster, the punter. Not a real booming kick. And a return coming for Auburn without much room. Good coverage for Marcus. Their weapons on offense on that punt play being helped to the sideline. So that's not good for the Tigers. But a good point. They don't have to move the ball that far to have a chance to kick, although fairly conservative on first down at carry for a gain of 3 or so. Now, the way Auburn's moved the ball, I'm a little surprised at that one.
Well, they're going no huddle.
Clock
Let's see if they take a shot.
30 seconds, under 30 seconds. White, short pass, complete, and a good
field goal is unbelievable. What a kick.
3rd and 2 here for Auburn. 23 seconds until halftime and no timeouts now for the Tigers. Sean White in the pocket, throws middle short. Barber makes a man miss, and that might be the difference. Still going. Now can Auburn, with the clock stopped on the first down briefly, get to the line of scrimmage.
Clock the ball.
And spike the ball. They got plenty of time to do it. And mismanagement on a spike kind of play last week, Wake Forest, Boston College. So Auburn does have to be careful about that. White looking to throw, stepping up, and he's going to heave it toward the end zone. He's got a man wide open. Incomplete. Now Tony Stevens is saying he.
And again, a good quick review. You don't want to stay all night on these reviews.
I agree. So they do that well. 52-yard try now on what should be the final play of the first half. After a close call for Auburn, Carlson with the big leg, kick on the way, and it is good with a lot to spare. And Gus Malzahn and his Auburn Tigers with a lot of power. It has not been an efficient Auburn offense this year until tonight, so a very encouraging sign for Gus Malzahn and company. The kicking burn with the 23-10 lead. Kentucky had 240 yards of offense themselves in that first half. Tolles is going to pass on first down.
Told us yesterday that would be a key for his team, and he did not see it in the first half.
So Kentucky hoping to play a little more physical here. They will hand the ball off to Boom Williams. 3rd and 9 for Kentucky. Patrick Tolles from the shotgun. That is caught, and it's going to depend on the spot.
But the young man, Badet, got past the first down marker Big play for Kentucky.
Yeah, and I think that was a good spot. The ball was at the line. His body was behind that line. There's a slant. At 6 catches, 154 yards against Coach Muschamp and the Gators last season. And he could be headed toward another career high game. And it was one big play, but Boom Williams was effective when he was touching the ball early in this game. I think they could stand to get him some more touches.
He wants his defense to step up and stop the run against Auburn, and he wants his offense to take this in and score.
Well, it's not an easy call, but I do think in the end they got the call right. Tolles on first down, little misdirection pass over the middle with a good block. Out of the yards, first down from the 19. Kentucky with 12 first downs in this game. On the move again. They're over 300 yards of offense tonight. A little hesitation move by Williams, and that's so it's first and goal for the Wildcats, a part of the field where they've been so good this year, but not as good tonight. Williams behind Tolles. Delayed handoff. Williams picking his way through. Williams down to about the 2. Now the ball comes out. He stretched forward. And one official says touchdown. That was a tremendous effort by Boom Williams.
They showed pass, delayed draw up inside, really good blocking by the guys.
He'd have for Kentucky.
Give Mark Stoops and his staff credit. They stirred them up, they got them excited. And
is the question for the Gators.
Yep, and Coach Muschamp said they're still going to play them great.
Yeah, a lot of faith. Even with Will Greer out, Sean White, who's been efficient in this game, surging forward out near the 45-yard line, spotted him back at the 43. First down, Auburn.
Auburn's receivers doing a really good job blocking on the perimeter.
Wardo Lewis has not had a catch.
Crowd's getting into it.
White hands the ball off. Barber outside the 45 to about the 40.
And when he's playing well, it gives Gus Malzahn an opportunity to call any play he wants.
3rd and 7. A little pressure to knock down 2 of their standouts on defense. Auburn had that spread out punt formation. Now they make the call. A little more conventional look. And a high punt. Timmons back to receive. And 3-1 in the SEC, which has not happened very often for this football program. Maybe some desperation on the Auburn side. If they lose, they are 0-3. It's a good feeling, isn't it, as a play caller?
Very confident. I said yesterday, if it's like a buffet. If you're sitting there looking at the food and you're sick, none of it looks good, and that's what happens to a play caller when his quarterback's not throwing the ball to the right.
Under his belt, I think they are all feeling more confident together, and that's showing here tonight. Boom Williams up over 100 yards now on just 10 carries. He's the big play guy. Play momentum in this game. Yeah, they're outgaining Auburn, trailing 23-17, but up to 349 yards of offense.
Still resting that Kentucky defense.
Handoff, Williams. Mark Stoops, his team, scored on their first drive of the second half, trying to do it again. Second time they have the ball after halftime. Auburn showing some pressure.
Boom Williams makes this team a much better offense, and watching him on the sideline, guys, he's been very engaged with his teammates throughout the night.
He's having a great
line and play defense because your defense is more rested.
Now you cheated. You saw the punter run on the field. You knew what they were going to do.
Yes.
Good call. Landon Foster, the punter.
It's easier to be up here.
A story, and they'll have it on the SEC Network on SEC Now at 11 Eastern tonight. He has done a really good thing in helping that kid. Auburn with the ball. Carry on. Because Forrest really is the guy who made that play. Doesn't get credit for the play. He's been their best player on defense tonight.
He's the best player.
2nd and 11. Sean White faked it. Got away from that. For 3rd and 5 as Auburn breaks the huddle and gets to the line quickly. In the first half, they've stopped him twice now in the second half, and that is their first sack of the night. Kevin Phillips, the punter, a high short punt. It'll forces the punt, and it was not a great punt. Punting game favored Auburn in the first half. Not that time. A great field position for Kentucky punted on 4th and medium and netted only 22 yards. Their defense did a good job of getting them the ball back with similar field position. Here's Williams again.
And Mark Stoops made a good decision with only 5:10 left in the third quarter.
Now 3rd and 2, a little different. This could be 4-down territory on 3rd and short. Kentucky hopes they don't have to find out. Tolles, handoff once again, and it's going to be close. That was JoJo Kemp. So they didn't give it to Boom Williams. He came out of the game. They gave it to Kemp, and they're short by a yard or so. And now we'll see if they do go for it.
No, he could also try to get a long count, no play, and get him to jump here, or use the physical running nature of Boom Williams for the first down.
Now they give it to Kemp. Kemp breaks a tackle, and I think he got there. He had a chance to go down, and it's still going to be close. It's not a guarantee, but that.
Well, and he's also trying to send a message to his team. This is important, so I'm going to fight for you, men.
Still no Boom Williams. It's Kemp in there again. They fake it to him. Tolles rolling, looking downfield. He's going to take a big night. 7 catches, 131 yards. Boom Williams, 2 touchdowns, 117 yards on the ground. Both Williams and Kemp are in the game simultaneously. They give it to Boom. Boom. Get about 4th down, going for it. Tolles has been good on 3rd down. JoJo Kemp behind him. Pressured, rolling out.
Man coverage, and no one's outside to keep him from making the first down. Critical mistake by Auburn's defensive end.
Yeah, Montrevious Adams, I mean, he's got a lot of talent, a lot of potential. They're looking for more production from him. Sure.
Right now, he feels good about himself. It helps the play caller. It helps him. The entire team feeds off Patrick.
Down 6, but getting deeper into Auburn territory. Kemp still the back.
Now he's got himself composed. He knows he's going well. He doesn't want to disrupt his momentum and trying to pick him back up, but that's a foolish penalty.
2nd and 9. Baker comes in motion. Pressure.
And the body language and the confidence right now of Patrick Tolles. He just seems to get better and better.
They don't have great confidence in their field goal game, but they're well within field goal range. Final minute plus of the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 3.
Player, but to win games like this, you got to make those plays.
Austin McGinnis, 31 yards from that right hash. These are important with 1:07 to go. From everywhere has been tremendous as Kentucky wants a 3rd SEC win. They're 2-1. Auburn, meanwhile, 0-2 in SEC play and desperate for a win, leading by 3. They'll get the ball back. Kerryon Johnson with the return. It was lopsided in favor of Auburn, 48-31. Here in the 3rd quarter, 26 plays for Kentucky, only 7 from scrimmage in the quarter for Auburn. Sean White, but Ricardo Lewis does not have a catch since the 1st quarter. Plenty of time on the play clock. Smith in motion, but he got his hands on it. Auburn just 2 of their last 7 on 3rd down, Coach.
Huge 3rd and 10. Does Kentucky come after him or drop out? Momentum on the road in a wonderful atmosphere here. You've got to make that play.
Well, Ricardo going to try to stay loose. So Auburn's got to punt the ball away. That would have been a 1st down if he'd hung on. And the punt.
Mitch Barnhart has made this a very difficult place to play along with Mark Stoops.
This is not the old Kentucky football. 4-1, trying to make it 5-1, still behind.
He's made 182 career tackles. He's the 2nd leading tackler on this team.
And Baker's been a little shaky with the ball. We saw the drop in the end zone on a would-be touchdown before the last field goal.
Take a play, 3rd and 6.
Yeah, we saw Boom Williams run off to the sideline, so he's got his helmet off, and he is not in for this play on 3rd and 6. They'd like to have him.
Best. Really good throw by Patrick Tolles, just a little bit too far. Those are the type plays Auburn have got to make now to change this momentum.
Yeah, they do get the ball back, presumably here. 4th and 6. Landon Foster's been not perfect in the punt game tonight. And that one not a great punt either. Have been almost unbeatable. So that follows us on ESPN, also streaming live on Watch ESPN. That's a good one. This is a good one.
This is a good ball game. Auburn's defense did their job.
Felt all right. He said yes. But keep in mind, defensively, guys, Melvin Lewis, Kentucky's big nose guard, not in there and will not be for the rest of the game with a lower leg injury.
Handoff.
Now, in the 3rd quarter, Kentucky in early fourth quarter. Kentucky's winning both lines of scrimmage.
And Ricardo Lewis is not in the game. 3rd and 2 for Sean White in the offense. Player, but on a play like this, that's the skill set you want.
Yeah, it's a blitz. Josh Forrest is in the backfield, and he just fights through tackles for a first down.
That's a big one for Auburn. Now the Wildcat, but flags are thrown before Kerryon Johnson could take off.
False start. Offense. Number overs.
And the one big turnover and interception in the end zone. We've had an interception in the end zone thrown by Kentucky, a drop pass in the end zone for Kentucky. Otherwise, stronger. But we stood next to him. He's a legit 6'4", true freshman from the state of Florida.
Big, good-looking young man.
So 2nd down and 9. It's going to get loud now on 3rd and 2. White handoff. Barber once again. Barber hit, and he powers ahead. That's the 2nd time. Now the ball comes out, and I don't know if they spotted him down. They did not. They call it a fumble, and Barber puts it on the ground. Kentucky comes up with the ball. Now he's arguing that he was down. Marcus McWilson with the recovery, and I'm sure they're going to take a look. Now we'll take a look.
On the field is that the ball carrier fumbled the football recovered by Kentucky. The previous play is under further review.
Now I think that elbow was down before the ball started to come out. That elbow right there, well, I thought so, but you watch that, I'm not quite sure it touched. Rogers Redding, National Coordinator of Football Officials, is with us here tonight in Lexington. At first glance, I thought for sure that elbow was down. Second look, Rogers, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, Dave. But that one right there looks like, of course, anything in slow motion looks like it stopped. So it's hard to tell with slow motion. But it's going to be very difficult to overturn this, I think. Although that picture right there seemed to indicate that that elbow was down. So it's good that they're looking at this, obviously, because it's a huge play.
Now, Rogers, what if the wrist and the forearm are down, but the elbow's not down?
Well, the wrist is a part of that.
Once again, for Barber to make this first down.
So big first down for Auburn. And they bring that Wildcat formation in.
He slips a block and hits a running back for no gain.
Now a penalty flag thrown.
Substitution infraction. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Come on, Auburn. Come on, Auburn. You can see Gus is the same thing. He said, somebody, why didn't you get him out? You got a freshman out there in Kerryon Johnson. He's running the Wildcat. Someone should have come off the field, and the guy didn't tell him, usually coming in, that he needs to get off. And you look up, and suddenly you got 12 on the field.
So it's 2nd and 12. Under 10 minutes.
And hit Ricardo Lewis down for the big play. Now Auburn's got a lot of momentum going.
And that's his first real big play since the first quarter. He's got 154 yards on the night. That one was 34. He lived up to expectation. They thought he was going to be a difference maker in the middle.
Well, it's time to live up to it right now.
They need him. 2nd and 5. Under center, White. Hands it off to Barber again. Barber
running north and south. Gus wants him to go. He wants him to go. Go. You got Kentucky standing around a little bit. Get it snapped.
White on 3rd and 1 will get it snapped. Will hand it to Barber, who is across the goal line. Touchdown. Touchdown Auburn. 2nd of the night for Peyton Barber. And the call on replay was huge. The catch by Lewis was huge. Auburn needed that in a big way.
Good job by the offensive line of Auburn, but Barber was the biggest part of that offensive drive. Peyton Barber made people miss him time and time again. Then you have an opportunity when you reestablish the run to get the play action and throw it deep to Ricardo Lewis.
11 plays, 67 yards, took 5.5 minutes. I think they are going to take a look and make sure that he got in. So they'll confirm upstairs with Steve Landis. That's that extra effort that you're talking about. I guess the only question was he down before he reached over? Didn't look like it to me.
No, I think it's a touchdown. Very impressed with him. Peyton Barber has been the difference in turning this momentum here in the fourth quarter.
Well, there were the 2 plays on that drive. Not just that run, there were the 2 to do with it.
Well, and he's going by to thank every offensive player for helping him get in the end zone. Could have put it. So Auburn needed to produce some explosives tonight, and they've done just that.
Yeah, just over 2 a game coming in. They've had 4 of them. They still want more. Last year, Stanford were here in Lexington, Kentucky. And Kentucky in this spot in their last game before the bye against an in-state rival, Eastern Kentucky. So a little
Has been a football team that plays with confidence in the fourth quarter. 7:39 left.
Auburn back up by 10. 2nd and 15 for Kentucky. Patrick Tolles has played well. Quick. Will Muschamp still trying to help rebuild this Auburn defense, watching his old Gators undefeated, moving into the top 10. 3rd and 10 for Kentucky.
Critical third down conversion for Kentucky.
Yeah, that was. I mean, time is not their friend now. Under 7 minutes to go. They have all 3 of their timeouts. But they do have to play offense with some urgency.
Around the 30-yard line, look the ball in, boom, before you take it, turn up and try to make some extra yards.
I tell you what, drops have been a part of this game for Kentucky. Dorian Baker, one of their best players, dropped a ball in the end zone that would have been a touchdown. Little play fake here. More pressure.
Hands in the pocket. Perfect throw across the field. Young man keeps his feet in bounds. Great play by Boone as well.
Yeah, good call, too.
By
he
Bone.
was in. Now Tolles.
Regardless of whose fault it was, next play.
Sometimes you wonder, Boone Williams had the drop. Was he still thinking about it and just went the wrong way? Under 6 minutes to go. 2nd and 9, Kentucky people.
Yes, this is not the same old Kentucky.
Tolles with the clock running now. In the pocket, delivers deep. And another play with a lot of contact. That's going to be another penalty against Blake Countess. Second one on this drive. Again, they're trying to get the ball to Garrett Johnson, who's been their big play guy.
Pass interference, defense, number 28, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
When you know the game's on the line.
Well, that was definitely, even though they announced it on 28, that was definitely a penalty against Blake Countess. A first down, second pass interference play. Tolles throws left sideline, and this one is caught. Another one of those back shoulder type throws, this time to Jeff Badette inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal, Kentucky.
Yeah, what a throw.
They spot the ball. It'll be 1st and goal from about the 2. That one was 27 yards through the air. Horton is the tailback alongside Tolles. He's down 2 scores. They're down 10. And since they had that big pass play, 40 seconds have run off the clock, something like that, and they're still not in.
Still critical they have to score.
You're right. Can't make a mistake. Another hit behind the line. The effort from Horton. Now the ball was sort of bobbling there, but I think he got it over the plane, and the officials agree. Touchdown, Kentucky. Well, I'm sure they'll look at that one, but for now it's 30-26. Did he get in? Yeah, I think so. Don't you?
I do. Good job. He was hit in the backfield with penetration. Jamil President hit him. Big, strong, young
quarter. And the Wildcats looking for his signature win as they rebuild this program against a team that a couple years ago played for the national championship. Auburn lead is 3.
Well-coached football game. Let's watch them play, and then we'll go watch Stanford and UCLA.
Yeah, I like it. Sean White has played well. 2nd and 8. Kentucky's got all 3 of their timeouts.
Kentucky trying to strip a ball loose, make a stop, get penetration.
10 Auburn, and again, they broke the huddle a little too soon for Coach Malzahn's taste. Now, don't you think Kentucky now, they got to start using those timeouts after ESPN. Dave Fleming, Mac Brown, Allison Williams here in Lexington. 2nd and 6 out of the timeout. Sean White is on the line right here. Coach Stoops trying to bark out some last-second instructions for his defense. 3rd and 4, and they give it on that sweep action. Johnson, the freshman, lowers his shoulders, and it's going to
chance on slipping. Will Muschamp has a tremendous amount of confidence as a defensive coordinator.
Now Kentucky is totally confused with personnel. Totally confused. They don't have the number or the correct players on the field. I mean, how many players do they have out there? Kentucky, not many, and they're still going to.
But obviously, it didn't work well for them. They still have a chance to go win this football game.
They got away with it. They
Forget
did.
it. Move forward.
They'll have the ball at the 15. A field goal would tie. 2:12 to go.
You've got plenty of time, even without your timeouts, and now you're 4 downs for the rest of the game.
310 yards for Patrick Tolles. He has played well. 2nd and 10, Kentucky. Auburn's defense looking for a stop. Swing play. And another near. Trying to spring Williams free. I don't know that Boom Williams really needed that block.
The defensive back separate from the wide receiver and sees some jersey stretch. That's when they call it. I also thought that Carlton Davis probably had his hands up in the face mask of Baker.
Yeah, that could have been a flag as well. 2nd and 13. That negates what was a big play. Tolles with a play fake. Pressured but throws. He's got his man caught. 1st down. Out of bounds to stop the clock, Jeff Badette. So that's a perfect play.
Bullet.
1:41 to go. They still got a long way to go to get into comfortable field goal range. Worth remembering, Kentucky not confident in their long-range field goal kicking. Their kicker has a groin injury. Tolles, little pass fake over the middle. And he's got his man for a big gain. And guess who? Juice Johnson has been making plays all night long.
Well, and Patrick Tolles has been really, really good as a football player tonight. He pumped because Johnson wasn't open. He waited till he hit the crease and then threw a perfect ball.
23 yards, 160 in the game for Johnson. Another play fake. Again, the pressure picked up. That pass caught, but the tackle inbounds clockwise. Dorian Baker held on, but that clock will roll with 1:12 to go. No timeouts for Kentucky. A gain of 5.
Yeah, that's a tough one to have a short catch inbounds.
Well, they got to hurry. Under a minute to go. Got to snap the ball. Tolles, handoff. And Boom Williams does not get the 1st down. But now Kentucky really has to go. Chris Frost made the tackle. I mean, they cannot waste time. They're down to 45 seconds. You can't clock the ball. It's 3rd down. Tolles will get it snapped and play fake it. And he's going deep this time. Left sideline, jump ball! Incomplete. But Dad had his hands on it. Jonathan Jones with good coverage. He was in there too. It's 4th down.
Yeah, it's great coverage by Jonathan after it because we've got to tackle you inbounds in front of us.
This is the game right here. Kentucky's been real good on 4th downs this season. They have to have this one. 4th and 3. 4-man rush for Auburn.